LOL. Who says esports doesn't have love? Introduction. Chen Xin crossed the parallel world at the end of S6 and became an LOL anchor. Awakening the Unparalleled system, you can obtain attribute points every day after winning the first game. You are strong, but I declare that Unmatched is the strongest cheat. Unmatched start. Unparalleled seductive movements, precise and unparalleled damage calculations, consciousness as if predicting the future. The extremely strong mid-size single pair has attracted the favor of wealthy bosses. Originally, Chen Xin wanted to refuse. But there's no way, the other party has given too much. Chen Xin, who arrived at EDG, found that the situation was not quite right. Wait, boss, why did you personally come on stage? This boss can rely on his face and background, but he must rely on talent and hard work. When the brand new EDG debuted on the field, the entire gaming industry was shocked. EDG can win both in the upper and middle fields and by tying a dog down the road. Isn't the bathing dog that was tied up before a dog? Playing games and encountering Charlotte dogs, men and women, is enough. Even watching games will result in being eaten dog food. This is a strong malice towards single dogs. Sports shouldn't have love. S7, EDG swept through all major clubs and climbed to the top of the bird's nest in an invincible manner. The legend continues, and a new king has already been established. Daily life as the main focus, supplemented by competitions, relaxed and humorous love story. This book, also known as World Champion. Starting with Sanctioning Bathing Dogs. Chapter 1. I, Wang Junchuo, don't want to go back and inherit the family business. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the evening of November 1, 2016, at 8 p.m. EDG Club, the parallel world magic capital. Wang Junchuo was dressed in formal attire, sitting in the boss's chair with his legs crossed, black silk and high heels appearing so elegant. She held a pen in one hand and looked at EDG club manager Huang Cheng in front of her, her fair and beautiful face slightly gloomy. EDG's performance in the S competition cured her years of low blood pressure. Fortunately, she had prepared antihypertensive drugs in advance, otherwise she might have died young at the age of 20. Mr. Wang, are you really not fighting for it anymore? The team is almost falling apart now. Deft is going back to his home country, and Pawn is expected to retire due to a waist injury. You do not agree to renew the contract for Koro 1 and Mouse. Although you will take on the position of the top player in the future, with the addition of Ming Kai and Mei Ko, our team members cannot gather together. The Demacia Cup final is about to start in just over a month. Huang Cheng's face revealed helplessness, as Wang Junchuo's anger skyrocketed since EDG suffered a 1.3 defeat to ROX in the S series this year. Wang Junchuo turned the pen in his hand, his fair face carrying a faint anger, and said, "Keep it for me to apply eye drops. If you find the salary too low, come to me in person to discuss it. I, Wang Junchuo, lack everything, but I don't lack money. Negotiate the salary with me, and then sign an intention contract with another team on the other hand. If you have a bone in the back of your head, don't forget to sue him." Wang Junchuo became more and more angry as he spoke. He threw his pen aside and let out a cold snort. Let's go, let's go. He even said that I, Wang Junchuo, have no eyes and EDG won't wait. Has he read too many online articles? Why don't he say 30 years in Hedong and 30 years in Heshi, don't deceive young people into poverty. Huang Qingjing stood still and dared not say much. He took office because he refuted Wang Junchuo and was then kicked out of the house. Yuziai's contract is not expired. Go and snatch him from Bai Xing's hands. No matter how much Bai Xing charges, my Wang Junchuo charges double. We can also try to contact players from various teams in the middle, and we can offer high liquidated damages and salaries. After Wang Junchuo finished speaking, he stroked his forehead with his delicate hand and gestured for Huang Cheng to step down with one hand. She has a slight headache now. I had known that EDG had performed so well in the S competition this year. 4396, the famous Ma-Ta-Fei arrow scene is constantly emerging. When Koro 1 was on the emergency bench at that time, he should have personally stepped in, maybe there might have been unexpected effects. Thinking of this, Wang Junchuo's face turned a bit resentful. She has had a great gaming talent since childhood. At the age of 18, he started playing in League of Legends, focusing on single placement and topping the charts in the Chinese and Korean server. As a result, her father Wang Junchuo insisted that she spend 2 years completing her undergraduate studies at Shuemu University. In the future, Wang Junchuo's dream of becoming a professional athlete was cut off by inheriting the wealth of his family. Last year, Wang Junchuo reached an agreement with his father. Within 3 years, no matter what methods Wang Junchuo uses. As long as EDG can achieve a Grand Slam within 3 years, he will no longer interfere with Wang Junchuo's career. In other words, if EDG fails to win the S championship, then Wang Junchuo will have to go back and inherit the family business. This is simply too scary. Wang Junchuo sighed at this thought and casually opened a popular Shark platform live broadcast room to give some gifts and vent his emotions. Anchor, I'll send you planes and rockets. If we can't do it, I'll clean up and land. I beg you to live stream more games every day. Why don't the anchor go to the hospital and see if I can introduce the better urology department to the anchor? It is very effective in treating kidney deficiency, and I cured it there. Wang Junchuo looked at the barrage flickering through the live broadcast room, and upon closer inspection, he found that he was still a middle-ranking single. This suddenly piqued Wang Junchuo's interest, and the League of Legends anchor only broadcasts once a day. Chi Lu, hiccup, the live broadcast has not officially started yet, but we have heard its voice. Chen Xin ate a bucket of Kangshifu's fried beef with chili peppers until there was no drop left, and wiped the corners of his mouth with a tissue. Watching the barrage drift by with a melancholic expression on his face, he also wanted to work harder and pay off his debt as soon as possible, but unfortunately, conditions did not allow it. Memory. 80. Reactive nerves. 85. Dynamic vision. 82. Mathematical ability. 88. Constitution. 65. Skill. Unmatched, rank. King, looking at his panel, Chen Xin's head swelled. Originally, he was also a genius teenager and used to be a substitute for the single Little Tiger in RNG. Like EDG's Koro 1, if Little Tiger has an urgent matter at the moment. But RNG's official substitute is not Zhongdan, so Chen Xin needs to save the field at this time. Basically, it's just a jack level, not even a spare tire. But one day, my predecessor suddenly shouted loudly for some unknown reason that my husband should not stay under someone else for a long time, and he angrily changed jobs before the contract was over. The club that was willing to accept him suddenly went bankrupt. The high penalty for RNG contract breach was borne by Chen Xin. At a young age, he became a millionaire and cannot join other clubs until the debt is paid off. No other club was willing to take over, thus ruining their career. I wanted to get rich through live streaming, but it turned out to be lukewarm for 6 months. So the predecessor was rotten. Staying up late, smoking and drinking excessively, talent gradually declines. Then Chen Xin, who died suddenly from overtime 6 months ago, took over the nest. The average level of professional players is 90. Now Chen Xin is far below this value. The anchor has been too busy these days and really doesn't have time to live stream. Wait for 1 or 2 months for the anchor to have free time and make up for all the time. Chen Xin also expressed despair about this matter. Unmatched can only be opened once a day, and its predecessor positioned the live broadcast room as a high segment of the king, which is even more impressive. If the live broadcast does not feature King's section, then live stream women's clothing upside down for hair washing. Call me Chen Xin women's clothing. Even if I, Chen Xin, starve to death and jump off the 20-something floor where I currently live, it's impossible for me to wear women's clothing. Although doubling all abilities within half an hour, Kaiwashuang. But the energy will also be doubled, and every time the matchless ends, Chen Xin feels like he is in a state of exhaustion. My physical fitness is only 65 now, but it has been gradually improved by Chen Xin during these days. After driving Wushuang, sitting in front of the computer for a long time will take half of Chen Xin's life. At present, Chen Xin can obtain an attribute point by obtaining a ranking that matches his own rank every day. This is why Chen Xin has beautiful expectations for his future life. At this point, Chen Xin also entered the game's personnel selection interface. Watching himself in the auxiliary position, Chen Xin entered a line of words directly into the chat box without saying a word. Give me a chance to win the bid. I can check the results on Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. If you don't live stream, I will be suspended. The live broadcast room is 123456789. It turns out to be Xian Zan, a man with kidney deficiency. Without C, I will live stream for you. The audience in the live broadcast room is asking you to live stream 2 more games. Chen Xin looked at his teammates' reply and felt a wave of resentment in his heart. Live streaming for half a year, I don't know who gave Chen Xin the nickname of Kidney Deficiency Man. The stage of banning the selection of heroes has been completed, and a small fish man has been selected as the opponent. Chen Xin chose the card master as his backhand, and the barrage was filled with ridicule as a result. You're a bit overconfident, right? Playing small fish with cards. After level 6, you won't be killed as a piglet. Indeed, when encountering a playful little fish, I don't even know how to play cards after level 6. I can't even take a glance at the connections, and I don't treat the opponent like a person. The small fish on the other side seems to be a small one. That's waiting for the anchor to be killed as a super ghost. Wang Junchuo's eyes lit up as he saw this, and his face became increasingly interested. Unexpectedly, I casually clicked on a strange anchor and was able to match them. Wang Junchuo is aware of the nickname score, which is over 800 points for the Ionian King. And I have even reached the top spot as the king at a certain stage. Wang Junchuo recognizes his strength. If Chinese server players can compete with those who have played a few moves in Chinese units, they are either professional players or top-notch passers-by skills. As for Chen Xin Xianzan's ID, Wang Junchuo can only say that he is ignorant and ignorant. Immediately, Wang Junchuo issued a barrage using her level 120 noble account called Super Invincible Beauty Girl. The little fish on the other side dies once, one super rocket at a time. If I could press the small fish on the ground and rub it, I would become an emperor. Chapter 2. All sit down, basic exercise. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Xin looked at Wang Junchuo's barrage, feeling confused. Why was he suddenly favored by a wealthy woman? The account, Super Invincible Beauty Girl, is too famous in Douyu. According to incomplete statistics, this account spends a minimum of 100,000 yuan per day on Douyu. Who doesn't want to lick this rich woman on the shark anchor? Chen Xin is not a saint either, he still owes more than 2 million yuan. That rich woman needs to fill her shark fins first. I'm afraid you won't be able to keep up with my withdrawal speed when you recharge later. As soon as Chen Xin spoke, the live broadcast room also became lively. Wang Junchuo started drinking coffee and watched Chen Xin's live broadcast with a smile on his face. She took Chen Xin's words as a joke, after all, no one knows how to speak big. Truly dressed, does the anchor not know that the opponent is a professional athlete? Even Faker wouldn't dare to say that when he came over. I think as long as the anchor can persist for 10 minutes without being killed alone, it will be considered successful. Chen Xin was not angry about the mockery of the barrage. Manipulating his card master, he inserted an eye into the blue buff position on the opposite side. This can ensure that the team obtains the opponent's wilderness and brush roots in the early stage, so as to analyze the trend and avoid gank. Subsequently, Chen Xin controlled the card master to shrink in front of the tower. The little fish man across from him stood in front of Chen Xin, lighting up his sign and expression. Chen Xin couldn't bear it. Directly control +3 and danced in front of me. Coming from the live broadcast room, he said he would retire if he didn't kill the anchor 5 times 15 minutes ago. It should be similar. After level 6, as long as the R of the small fish man is present, the card is basically declared dead without any flashing. Once the small fish is equipped, a QWAE will take away the card. For these barrage comments, Chen Xin glanced at them and then opened the Unparalleled game, slowly saying, "I will finish this game in 30 minutes. As soon as the words fell, the middle route soldiers walked slowly over. The little fish man stepped forward and went to A to see the melee soldiers. Chen Xin saw the operation and a slight smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. There is no famous scene of Dopa in this time and space. Just because Xiao A killed this soldier, the match has already ended." As the words fell, Chen Xin's live broadcast room exploded completely. Due to Wang Junchuo's entry, many people have already attracted him. Plus, Chen Xin became a famous professional player in the matchup. Many people want to come and see firsthand how Chen Xin was exposed. What? Anchor, it's been a few days since you brushed your teeth. With such a big breath, I can even see cows flying in the sky. Xiao A's battle will end after a brief battle. Anchor, please continue to play and I'll listen. Chen Xin naturally has no time to watch these barrage comments. He needs to be fully focused on playing the game now. After all, the effective time of Wushuang is only half an hour. Chen Xin needs to finish the game quickly within this time. As time passed by, the game reached around 8 minutes. The audience in the live broadcast room gradually realized something was wrong. What's going on? Why is this pawn line always in front of the card's tower and cannot fully advance the tower? This kind of line makes the little fish extremely uncomfortable. Yeah, this kind of line stuck in front of the tower, the little fish can't fully advance and swim, and they also have to worry about the opponent's wild and auxiliary gank. After reaching 6, Xiaoyu cannot gain an online advantage, nor can he wander to support his teammates. His own side is still an excavator in the wilderness, and they cannot help Xiaoyu break free from the line. If you forcefully kill, the troops' lines will not enter the tower, and there will be a flash on the card player's hand, which is highly likely to be replaced. If you are hit by the opponent's counterattack, it will completely explode. If this continues, I feel like I have to retire in place. Upon seeing this scene, Wang Junchuo's expression gradually became serious, and he put down all the coffee in his hand. She didn't expect Chen Xin's understanding of military lines and heroes to be so high. Even for a moment, he was restrained by Chen Xin, but that's not enough. Immediately, Wang Junchuo sent a super rocket to Chen Xin, pushing the live streaming popularity to a climax. Amazing, because Xiaoyu took the lead in attacking melee soldiers, causing our soldiers to prioritize attacking Xiaoyu while the opponent's soldiers would attack our soldiers. In this way, the pawn line will gradually advance towards our side, and the card will use its own technology to successfully block the pawn line in front of the tower, ending the match ahead of schedule. But he's not a vegetarian. Your trick is probably useless to him later. Chen Xin also saw Wang Junchuo's barrage and understood what Wang Junchuo was saying in his heart. I will call in both auxiliary and field players to unlock the line together, and even perform a fierce kill on Chen Xin's cards. But he didn't panic at all, with unparalleled blessings. All his abilities have doubled, even though he was only a real man for half an hour, it was still enough. Judging from the little fish's movements, he probably couldn't help it anymore. He was about to launch a fierce attack on me in 10 seconds, because there were still 10 seconds left for the opponent's jungle and support to appear from the grass on the right side of the river. And the other party's AD female police officer will be fighting against Xiaolong alone at this time. Xiaolong still has about 200 drops of health, while the female police officer's health is about 2/3. Chen Xin analyzed to himself that the audience in the live broadcast room was just listening as a joke. After all, everyone has consciousness, but it can be precise to seconds, positions, and even health. That's pure nonsense, and Chen Xin's right river channel has no view. Chen Xin is at a disadvantage when going down the road, and has already sent 6 heads to the AD female police officer on the opposite side. 10, 9, 2, as Chen Xin counted down to the second. Chen Xin's card opened R, illuminating the entire field of view. The opponent's jungle and support are just reaching the grass on the right river, ready to take action. The rhythm was interrupted by a sudden R from Chen Xin's card. The R, who had been aiming at the small fish for a long time, was a bit crooked. Seeing this scene, people were dumbfounded and said, "Why does the card open up at this time?" But what is even more shocking is still ahead. At this moment, I flew over to pick up people's heads and dragons. Chen Xin continued, then controlled the card and flew to the side of AD who was playing dragon on the opposite side. In order to collect our AD heads, Shanhua submitted the flash healing. There are still 20 seconds left in the healing and 80 seconds left in the flash healing. Chen Xin's words fell. A yellow card is played on the opposite AD. Cooperate with QW and electrocution to ignite the damage and directly take away 6.0 giant fat AD. At the same time, Q's damage also hit Little Dragon. Chen Xin repaired the damage a few more times and successfully took down Xiaolong. Then Chen Xin controlled his card and ran away from his own side. I can only take the field and assist to get the Canyon Pioneer stop-loss on the road, and also see if I can catch a wave on the road. At the same time, the barrage in Chen Xin's live broadcast room began to flash. What? Did you plug in the USB drive? If it can't be accessed, it will be opened. It's not about martial arts, right? Xiao Tu doesn't count as open. Wang Junchuo was also shocked and put down the coffee he had just prepared to drink. I clicked the mouse and then flashed a few super rockets for Chen Xin. Is there anyone else who is so conscious? Being able to calculate the enemy's position, dynamics, and health in a state of no view is beyond Wang Junchuo's understanding. If you don't cheat, then Chen Xin is not a person. Because this is not something that the human brain can calculate. Under normal circumstances, Chen Xin naturally cannot do all of this. But if you open Wushuang, he can do it. In the unparalleled state, all attributes are doubled, and Chen Xin obtains information based on the alignment. Can accurately remember the opponent's skill CD, damage, how much economy they have and how much economy they have consumed. It is also possible to use probability to determine the next step of the other party based on their walking habits. Unfortunately, Chen Xin also watched the entire S competition this year. He has long studied his habits. Otherwise, what do you think Chen Xin does every day after the broadcast? Every day, I lie in bed and recite the skill CDs and damage of each hero at each level under various equipment enhancements. There is also the time when bare shoes, grass shoes, and finished shoes travel from one location to another. The time it takes to start the game at different levels, study the personal habits of famous players, and so on. After recovering some physical strength, I still need to write a paper. Including, on Jess, and, on Clear Love. The game is still ongoing. However, by this time, Chen Xin's cards had already taken control of the rhythm throughout the game. The opponent's AD will just step out of the second tower in 10 seconds. After the opponent's AD resurrection this time, they will single brush toads. Then the other party AD was ambushed by Chen Xin's big move and various card views, and was withdrawn by Chen Xin 6 times. I deliberately sold a loophole in front of their high ground in this wave, and I'm sure they will succeed because they don't have a chance to win without killing me, but his damage is not enough. After playing a set, I will still have 300 drops of health left. Because his ultimate move couldn't hit me. As Chen Xian's words fell. As expected, he took action against Chen Xian. But Chen Xian's equipment is much better than that. With the addition of a powerful move, Chen Xian immediately reacted and dodged it. Xiaoyu was also angry and just finished playing with the flash EQW. He wanted to increase the damage of blood and PSA, but it was enough to kill the card in seconds. However, Chen Xian's card still has 300 drops of health left. Then he was pinned down by Chen Xian's yellow card and immediately began to pull, adding damage to his teammates, directly sending the little fish into the spring water. The audience in the live broadcast room became numb. I have already recorded the video, and I will submit it to FIS tomorrow. I really don't believe the anchor hasn't started cheating. Find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. After watching the anchor's operation, my friends who have been paralyzed for 20 years were shocked and stood up directly from the wheelchair. Chen Xian happened to see this barrage and smiled slightly. Sit down, basic exercise. Wang Junchuo's mouse clicking on the super rocket made him feel numb. She really didn't expect that the small live broadcast room would hide the sleeping dragon Chen Xian. Chen Xian also did not forget the words spoken by Wang Junchuo. Faced with disadvantages, eager to find rhythm and breakthrough points. Just like Chen Xian, he locked his target on AD on Chen Xian's side. But every time he wants to take action against Chen Xian's AD. Chen Xian and his assistant must be right beside him. Every time I steal a chicken, it won't erode the rice. Not only was the withdrawal unsuccessful, but the head was also given to AD on Chen Xian's side. Soon, under the leadership of Chen Xian's cards and AD. This game ends in 28 minutes. The small fish was killed and achieved a record of 2.5.3. As for this game, it has nothing to do with placing orders on both sides. A bobby, a big tree. With the opening of an emperor named Wang Junchuo, the entire live broadcast room fell into madness. As for the situation over there, it was broadcast in embarrassment. Retirement is impossible. Wang Junchuo took a deep breath, his delicate face revealing a hint of firmness. She now feels that Chen Xian is the middle Dan she has been dreaming of. This is an intuition belonging to Wang Junchuo. If EDG has Chen Xian joining, Wang Junchuo may even feel that winning a Grand Slam next year is not a problem. The slender fingers are also typing on the keyboard. With such strength, why not pursue a career and become famous instead of hiding here as a small anchor? Chapter 3. Chen Xian, really didn't want to pursue a career. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Xian looked at this incredibly familiar barrage in shock. Immediately expressing gratitude to Wang Junchuo, he politely declined and prepared to broadcast. Unable to join any club without citing contractual reasons. Even Chen Xian's current state does not allow him to play professionally. The unparalleled skill can be used as a substitute for him next time. Every time in a life or death game, he appears to save the team. And he doesn't plan to pursue a career. Isn't it good to live stream freely every day? Playing a profession requires daily training in various competitions. Various behaviors need to be amplified and attacked and discussed by numerous netizens. Wang Junchuo's face showed a hint of surprise upon hearing Chen Xian's reply, and a smile appeared on his face. Her philosophy from childhood to adulthood is that if someone rejects you, that means you haven't given enough chips yet. Immediately, Wang Junchuo took out his phone and scanned the code to recharge his shark account with 100,000 shark fins. Fingers on the mouse began to click wildly. Thank you for the super invincible beautiful girl super rocket, boss is grand. Chen Xian watched as the rocket soared into the air in the live broadcast room, and there was still something to be grateful for. He thought it was just the last one Wang Junchuo broadcasted because of himself. Unexpectedly, this is just the beginning. Accompanied by countless super rockets taking off, Chen Xin remained silent except for silence. If only I could transfer so much money directly. I can only get 30% of the 2,000 yuan super rocket, and 70% belongs to someone else. Chen Xin's eyes shed tears of bitterness and poverty as he thought of this. The final live broadcast room displayed the words, Super Rocket *500. Countless passers-by rushed into the live broadcast room to grab fish balls, and the speakers also frantically pushed them. Accompanied by Wang Junchuo's barrage of, add a contact information and let's chat alone. The entire live broadcast reached its climax completely. That's it. The anchor used to live short every day and was feeling weak. Now she's still being taken in by a wealthy woman, and maybe she won't be able to do it again in the future. What does it mean? Why is it that even if a wealthy woman likes it, she doesn't necessarily live stream? Have you never heard of Happy Fire and Happy Ball for wealthy women? If there is a wealthy woman who brushes 100W with me, it's not unbearable. I don't believe it, even Kai Jing from Xiangnan has not been favored by a wealthy woman. How could Xianzan, a man with kidney deficiency, beat/lemon? Chen Xin was forced to close the live broadcast room and added Wang Junchuo's contact information through a private chat on the Shark platform. Then lying in bed, I casually clicked on Wang Junchuo's social circle and found that there were all kinds of selfies, and all of them were seductive uniforms. This rich woman added well. Hello, my name is Wang Junchuo and I am the owner of EDG. Currently, our team is lacking a mid-laner. If you are willing, you can come to Magic City to find me. Thank you for your kindness, but I really didn't want to play professionally. Chen Xin replied through voice. After all, just as Wushuang had just ended, he was like a state of just released, he could use his mouth but not his hands. Wang Junchuo listened to Chen Xin's voice and had a stronger smile on his face. I am increasingly determined that Chen Xin is the middle Dan I want. Because she is a voice and face control. Don't rush to refuse for now. I watched your live broadcast today, and I can responsibly say that among all the middle orders I have seen, your strength is definitely in the top 3. The top players in LPL now have an annual salary of 3,000 W, and I'll give you 4,000 W. If you come to Magic, come find me. Seeing Wang Junchuo's reply, Chen Xin felt a bit dazed. If it weren't for him comparing the EDG boss information he found online with Wang Junchuo's social circle, Chen Xin would really think that Wang Junchuo is a scammer. After all, 100,000 yuan may be some kind of spendthrift entertainment. But if you give 400,000 yuan in one breath to a stranger whose conditions have not been agreed upon, then you are either a scammer or just a fool. I'm sick, I have a disease where I can only play one game a day. Chen Xin is very helpless, he really wants to give it a try. This is an opportunity to become a true millionaire, but my level does not allow it. After a while, Wang Junchuo also replied to Chen Xin. I'm also sick. I have a disease that makes me feel uncomfortable without spending money for a day. You're joking with me, there's no such disease in the world. You made a joke with me first. I have something to do now. If you are willing, please send me your card number and I will transfer the money to you immediately. Come to Magic City tomorrow and let's have a deeper discussion. Looking at Wang Junchuo's news, Chen Xin became entangled. How about giving it a try? After all, the S game has just ended and there are no major competitions to play during this period. If it is possible to elevate the panel to the average level of the profession during this period of time, Chen Xin feels that he is not incompetent either. After all, some people often compete with the Golden Goblin cloth armor shoes and mix them up. I bet, Chen Xin swore never to eat instant noodles again. Even if I wanted to eat them, I would have to add a few more eggs. After much hesitation, Chen Xin finally made a decision and gave his card number to Wang Junchuo. Then he kept refreshing the bank card balance interface. After a while, a text message from the bank and a message from Wang Junchuo arrived simultaneously. Check it out, let me know when you will arrive tomorrow, and I will pick you up then. Watching Chen Xin receive 40,000 yuan in his bank card. Thinking about half a year of eating instant noodles, the feeling in my heart is even more unpleasant. Immediately, Chen Xin opened his computer and changed the title of his live broadcast room. Unlimited suspension. Whoever loves to broadcast this live stream will do it. Anyway, I won't broadcast it anymore. Whoever gets rich will still broadcast it. Just like who still writes novels when they have money. Are those serious people who live stream even when they have money? Yes, I'll check out now. I don't want the deposit anymore, it will be used as the room cleaning fee. What? The Lamborghini I was interested in before has been sold. So, I still have a roll with a discount of 500 yuan over 500 yuan. That's useless. If you don't buy insurance, go to Shuyuan www.jiaoshuyuan.com. If you don't buy wealth management, don't buy anything. I just enjoy watching it quietly lie in my card. Chen Xin hung up the phone, bought a plane ticket to fly to Magic City tomorrow, and packed his luggage. He was about to have a good night's sleep, but a text message made him completely lose sleep. Hello, due to civil case 12345, your account is now subject to mandatory execution of a total principal and interest of 258W. Worry child, RNG refund. The next morning, Chen Xin stepped onto the plane heading to the Magic City with his eyes crossed. After arriving at the airport, Chen Xin felt like he hadn't woken up when he saw Wang Junchuo, who was tall and beautiful, standing in front of the limited edition Lamborghini. Thank you for your invitation. I just got off the plane and was favored by a wealthy woman. She has a fair and beautiful skin, a tall figure, and a broad mind. Can you ask me what I should do next? Wang Junchuo saw Chen Xin, who was very handsome, and his enthusiasm at the corner of his mouth increased a bit. Chatting with Chen Xin in the car, we arrived at our destination more than 10 minutes later. Let's go, what are you waiting for? Wang Junchuo looked at Chen Xin in confusion and quickly urged him. This tall building. Chen Xin looked at the tall building in front of him with some confusion. He doesn't remember the EDG base being here. Yeah, this is where our club trains. Wang Junchuo's tone was a bit dissatisfied. Initially, there were no suitable high-rise buildings for sale in the inner ring, but now the base is only located in the middle ring of the Magic City. Chen Xin followed Wang Junchuo's footsteps numbly, perhaps this was the life of the wealthy. Just as he arrived not far from the elevator, Chen Xin saw an old acquaintance. The man who only rises in spring. Can't you just tell me earlier about Chapter 4? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. This man is the rising star of RNG. The creator of the Golden Body Demon Cloth Armor Shoes. RNG Single Little Tiger. Although he was dressed very tightly, he still wore a mask on his face. But Chen Xin still recognized him at a glance. Just Chen Xin is a bit puzzled, don't know what Xiaohu is doing at EDG. Wang Junchuo also felt something unusual about Chen Xin and had not yet had time to ask him. Huang Cheng, who was beside Xiaohu, had already noticed Wang Junchuo and walked over with a flattering smile on his face. Mr. Wang, this is the one who came to our EDG trial, but he is. Before Huang Chenghua could finish speaking, he finally noticed Chen Xin beside Wang Junchuo, with a slightly unnatural expression on his face. Mr. Wang, who is this? Manager Huang, I haven't had a chance to tell you yet. His name is Chen Xin, and he will be our EDG's first mid-laner in the future. Ah. Hello. Chen Xin also took the initiative to extend his hand and shake hands with Huang Cheng to say hello. According to past life memories, Wang Cheng should be the manager of EDG Club. However, Wang Cheng was clearly still immersed in Wang Junchuo's words and did not react for a moment. This made Chen Xian's palm freeze in the air for a few seconds. Chen Xian withdrew his palm and felt a bit embarrassed on his face. But more of a surprise. Xiaohu dares to leave RNG and come to EDG for trial and single. Aren't he afraid of RNG contracts? Wang Junchuo frowned upon seeing this scene, and his impression of Wang Cheng greatly declined. As the club manager of EDG, not even the most basic etiquette is detrimental to the club's image. Immediately, Wang Junchuo said coldly, "Manager Huang, the people you brought over don't need to undergo trial training. In the future, we can have Chen Xian at EDG." Huang Cheng also regained his senses at this moment and quickly dissuaded. "Mr. Wang, you must give this person a trial. I'm sure he's definitely the best fit for our EDG." After speaking, Huang Cheng glanced at Chen Xian again, feeling even more displeased in his heart. Chen Xian is actually more handsome than him. Chen Xian. I haven't heard of you among professional players, the king of skilled passers-by. Roughly speaking, that's right. Chen Xian smiled and nodded. He was unparalleled, and every hero was a masterpiece. Upon hearing Chen Xian's words, Huang Cheng's face became extremely complicated. He was very conflicted in his heart and wanted to persuade Wang Junchuo to give up Chen Xian and choose Little Tiger. But Wang Junchuo's style is there, since he has already made a decision. Huang Cheng knew that no matter how much he said, it was useless. However, at this moment, Xiaohu, who was watching the whole process from the side, suddenly walked up to a few people and looked at Chen Xian with strange eyes. "Chen Xian, long time no see. I didn't expect you to become EDG's mid-laner. Congratulations." After speaking, Xiaohu took off his mask. He believes that Chen Xian has recognized his identity and there is nothing to hide. Wang Junchuo saw Little Tiger's face and a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. Ask Huang Cheng to snatch Yuziai, but he actually brought Xiaohu over for trial training first. "Chen Xian, do you know Xiaohu? Calculate." Before Chen Xian could finish speaking, Little Tiger's words rang out. "I've known Chen Xian for quite some time. He used to be a member of our RNG team, and when it comes to him, he's still my emergency substitute." Although Xiaohu did not explicitly state it, Wang Junchuo felt the pride and resentment between the lines of Xiaohu's words. After all, he withstood the pressure of RNG and followed Huang Cheng to EDG trial training. The result was told to be eliminated before it even started. More importantly, the person who eliminated Xiaohu was actually Chen Xian, who used to be ineligible to check the water dispenser in the club. "By the way, Chen Xian, have you paid off the 2 million yuan you owe RNG? You can't join any club until you pay it off." Chen Xian originally planned to ignore Xiaohu. Can you hear that? Over 2 million hearts were instantly pricked. The money I received has shrunk in an instant before I could cover it. Can it not be heartbreaking? Thinking of this, Chen Xian looked at Xiaohu with a faint smile and whispered. "I heard you were beaten up by Faker again this year." As soon as the words fell, Wang Junchuo chuckled. Xiaohu's face is very ugly. Chen Xian's critical strike caused him tons of damage. "What nonsense are you talking about? I often kill Faker alone in training matches, but there are too many variables in the main match. In terms of strength, it's still a 5-to-5 split." Xiaohu's face turned a bit swollen and red. Chen Xian and Wang Junchuo watched him quietly. This made him even more embarrassed and angry. "Manager Huang, at first I was interested in the conditions you offered, but now I'll just go back to RNG. If your EDG is interested in Chen Xian, then there should be no team in LPL next year that RNG can match." After speaking, Xiaohu put on his mask and turned around to leave, but Huang Cheng quickly stopped him. Huang Cheng's face is a bit excited now. He thought Chen Xin was some top-notch pedestrian king, but it turned out to be an emergency substitute for Xiao Hu. Isn't this opportunity here again? Wang Junchuo clearly did not know Chen Xin's identity at first. Now that we know the truth, there is a comparison. Huang Cheng believes that Wang Junchuo will make a choice between Chen Xin and Xiao Hu. Mr. Wang, I think. What do you think? Huang Cheng looked at Wang Junchuo's angry face and suddenly felt a sense of unease. Do I need your opinion? Who is the boss of EDG? After Wang Junchuo finished speaking, he looked at the little tiger with his beautiful but angry phoenix eyes. What did Xiao Hu mean by that sentence just now? What does EDG mean that they are interested in Chen Xin? When Xiao Hu returns to RNG next year, LPL will have no team to compete with. The meaning is that your little tiger will beat Chen Xin up in various LPL competitions next year. Zhaoshuyuan.com. The deeper meaning is that I, Wang Junchuo, have no eyes and choose Chen Xin over you, Xiao Hu. Since you came to EDG for a trial today, you left without even starting. Obviously, our EDG team lacks manners, so I'll give you a chance. After speaking, Wang Junchuo looked directly at Chen Xin and said in an undeniable tone. Chen Xin, if you play with Xiao Hu solo, whoever wins will be our EDG's starting middle single. Ah. I agree with Mr. Wang's opinion. Chen Xin was caught off guard by Wang Junchuo's words. If he wants to win against Xiao Hu in solo, he has to be unbeatable. Unmatched can only be opened once a day. After opening, how did Chen Xin achieve his first victory in the king's rank today? Unless you find a big shot to fly in 2 rows, and it's not necessarily a win. It is highly likely that the opportunity to reward attribute points will be wasted. Mr. Wang, if you look at Chen Xin's entanglement, I think it's better to forget about it. After all, he never won against me at RNG before, otherwise he wouldn't have been watching the water dispenser all the time. Faced with Xiao Hu's mockery, Chen Xin also made up his mind and was about to speak up and agree to Wang Junchuo's request. They have all been written on their faces and output, and if they don't fight back, it won't make sense. Wang Junchuo looked at Chen Xin with a hint of reluctance, and suddenly something came to his mind with a smile. Chen Xin, if you can win, I'll take out the 2 million yuan you owe RNG. Upon hearing these words, Chen Xin no longer hesitated and walked directly into the elevator, watching Wang Junchuo and others in a daze urge him. Let's go up solo, what are you still waiting for? Chapter 5. Approximately in spring. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Xiao Hu, this is your opportunity. You need to know what level of salary our boss offers. Huang Cheng saw Chen Xin agree and whispered in Little Tiger's ear. Xiao Hu's eyes were also full of excitement. Wang Junchuo offered the highest annual salary for LPL, and he will also pay a penalty for breach of contract. A few minutes later, Chen Xin and others arrived at the 9th floor. The entire floor is the training room of the club. Chen Xin looked at the various expensive training equipment in front of him. Wang Junchuo's financial resources have once again risen to a higher level. Chen Xin, this is Mingkai and Maiku. This is Chen Xin, our EDG's future middleman. Wang Junchuo brought Chen Xin to Mingkai and Maiku and introduced each other. Chen Xin also smiled and extended his hand to greet the two of them separately. Factory Director, Sister Ko, I used to be your ultimate fan, and I need to take care of you more in the future. It should be. Mingkai and Mei Ko replied to Chen Xin with a smile, but they also exchanged glances. Their eyes were filled with curiosity, and they had never heard of Chen Xin before. However, the two also saw the little tiger behind them, and the factory manager immediately asked, Mr. Wang, why did the little tiger come over? Oh, he thinks he can take on the role of EDG's middleman. Come and give it a try, run 2 machines for Chen Xin and Xiao Hu to have a solo match. Chen Xin, don't let me down. If you can't win, don't mention the 2 million yuan I promised you just now. You'll have to spit out what I gave you before. Upon hearing Wang Junchuo's words, Ming Kai and Mei Ko were even more shocked. It seems that Wang Junchuo wants Chen Xin to be the starting center single for EDG. But due to certain reasons, Chen Xin and Xiaohu solo were arranged. But Xiaohu has already become a famous Chinese singles professional player, how can Chen Xin be? Upon hearing Wang Junchuo's words, Chen Xin's heart was instantly stirred. He must win this solo clean and beautiful. Otherwise, he would have to go back to eat instant noodles again, and then Chen Xin's eyes towards Xiaohu were filled with hostility. A few minutes later, Chen Xin and Xiaohu each sat on a machine. We are debugging various configurations, as each player has their own habits. Ming Kai, do you think that person named Chen Xin can win? It's hard to say. Look at Wang Anyuan's introduction to us earlier, it's clear that he wants Chen Xin to be the team's top scorer. Perhaps it's for some reason. However, Xiaohu has been famous for a long time, and now his strength is at its peak. I think it's better to go 3 or 7 times, if there are no surprises. Ming Kai and Mei Ko stared at Chen Xin and Xiaohu, but they didn't have much confidence in either of them. After all, those powerful passers-by kings have all heard of them. Sanchi has gone high. Chen Xin used to be Xiaohu's emergency substitute and has never won against Xiaohu. It's estimated to be around 10,000 yuan. With the addition of Xiaohu in our EDG, we will definitely gain wings like a tiger. Huang Qing appeared beside the two, his face full of confidence. After all, he hired Little Tiger with a high salary, and Little Tiger was going to give him a reward. Why else would he bother so much? During the conversation, Chen Xin and Xiaohu's equipment had already been debugged. The two have also entered the game's personnel selection interface. The account is an internal account of EDG, and there is also a referee in the game. Randomly select heroes, 1 health, 1 tower, and 100 swords. Whoever meets one of the conditions first will be considered victorious. After Wang Junchuo finished speaking, he also found a chair to sit down and stare at the large screen in the training room, crossing his legs. He waved his hand again and said, Mr. Huang, come with me to make a cup of coffee. Xiaohu heard Wang Junchuo's rules and gave Chen Xin a provocative look. Let's just let it be random. I'll choose a hero first, you choose later, you choose a composition, so if you lose, there's nothing to say. Chen Xin raised an eyebrow when he heard Xiaohu's confident and arrogant words. He doesn't allow anyone to pretend better than himself. No need, hurry up and choose. I'll finish early so I can go to rest. After speaking, Chen Xin clicked on the random selection button. The system selected Blade Shadow Tai Long, commonly known as the male sword, for him. Upon hearing Chen Xin's words, Xiaohu's lips showed a hint of mockery with a light click of the mouse. You have randomly arrived at the main calamity of Shadow Flow. 2 heroes often appear in the middle lane as passers-by. This can be described as a needle pointing at the wheat. Ming Kai, it's a bit interesting. Men's swords versus robbers, fighting against each other. I don't think Chen Xin has a chance at all. At this point, Chen Xin and Xiaohu also entered the game. The two of them did not engage in a duel and stayed quietly under the tower waiting for the arrival of the troops. With ignition and barriers, I think you can surrender now. Xiaohu glanced at the summoner skill worn by Chen Xin's male sword and immediately began to mock. Unfortunately, I am not a robber. Chen Xin sighed and ignored Xiaohu's mockery. He hopes to randomly select the robbery. Maybe there's a chance to replicate Faker and Yuluan in this way. You still consider yourself a faker. Xiaohu also recognized the profound meaning in Chen Xin's words and let out a cold snort before speaking again. At this point, the Central Route Army has already walked over. Chen Xin and Xiaohu also respectively controlled the male sword and the robbery to start replenishing troops. At the beginning, the alignment was also quite calm. Chen Xin also activated the Unparalleled skill and doubled its attributes. Control the male sword and occasionally throw W to consume the little tiger. His high memory also helped him remember some of little tiger's walking habits. It has to be said that Xiaohu is still skilled. The W of Chen Xin's male sword did not consume too much health of little tiger robber. On the contrary, my blue bars gradually decreased. This is a very dangerous state. Because looting only requires energy release skills. If Xiaohu judges that Chen Xin's knife blue bar is not enough, he will directly attack his face. As expected, Xiaohu turned a W again as he walked. Instantly casting a shadow, they reached Chen Xin's side, and then QE all came out. Instantly electrocute. The health of Chen Xin's male sword instantly disappeared by half. And little tiger robber still has 2/3 of his health. Now Chen Xin is at a disadvantage, and by the time he reaches 6, it is estimated that Xiaohu will be directly in. Chen Xin's male knife is dangerous. Seeing this scene, Wang Junchuo's face changed. I waved my hand and found that the coffee hadn't arrived yet. My face looked even worse. Meiko, it's a bit strange. Why does Chen Xin have to walk like this? He used to control the distance when using W, and he can even use the male sword's E jump soldier. Maybe I was a bit nervous, and then I made a mistake. After all, it's quite stressful to compete with players at the level of Xiaohu. At this moment, Chen Xin was completely focused on staring at the screen, with a slight smile on his lips. The recent wave of selling blood was intentionally designed by Chen Xin. Otherwise, Xiaohu wouldn't be able to resist taking action later. With the blessing of the unparalleled state, Chen Xin's patching knife was flawless. And Xiaohu has already missed 7 knives in order to find an opportunity to consume Chen Xin. Zhaoshuyuan.com. If this situation continues, the gap will continue to widen. As expected, after Chen Xin and Xiaohu reached 6. The number of surgeries between the two increased once again. We have reached a gap of 12 knives. Xiaohu also noticed this situation at this time, and his face looked a bit ugly. Now Chen Xin's male knife has been keeping a safe distance from his robbery. He can't be consumed at all. Moreover, Chen Xin's male sword has slowly restored his health through the Duolon sword. If this continues, Chen Xin's number of repairs will surely reach 100 first. Xiaohu should be taking action now. Chen Xin actually suppressed him on the repair knife, and if he continues to develop like this, he will lose. Wang Junchuo was also enjoying watching it at this moment. Her empty right hand just made her very unhappy. Ask Huang Cheng to brew a cup of coffee. Solo is almost over and hasn't come yet. Good opportunity. Xiaohu saw Chen Xin enter his attack range to reinforce his troops. My eyes lit up. I went straight to W and played a game. In an instant, Chen Xin's sword lost half of its blood and entered the killing line. Now Xiaohu is waiting for the skill CD, and then a wave of all-in decides to take Chen Xin away. I'm going to lose. I still have too little experience. Chen Xin saw the health of his male sword. There was no sign of panic in his expression. Still operating the male knife in an orderly manner, watching little tiger's movements. Raise the corners of your mouth. If it were in spring, you might still be able to shake my wrist, but unfortunately it's winter now. 5-4-1 Chapter 6 Bubble Caffeine slashes little tigers. You are listening at novel full.audio. Chen Xin silently counted the countdown in his heart. Intentionally positioning oneself towards little tiger by releasing W or R to approach one's position. Xiaohu's operation was indeed as expected by Chen Xin. I went straight to the side of Chen Xin's male knife. Chen Xin, you're still the same as before, very delicious. As the words fell, Xiaohu immediately used the R skill of Jia against Chen Xin. Prohibition of mysteries. Instant prison shadow kill formation. Xiaohu is very confident. He didn't even consider whether Chen Xin would avoid his Q and E. Now Chen Xin's male sword has only half of his health. The essence of Little Tiger's calamity is accompanied by two shadows of W and R. The space for Chen Xin's movement has been completely sealed off. And Chen Xin didn't bring any flash. Even if Chen Xin had a barrier, Xiaohu believed that he would ignite it, electrocution, and 3 QE injuries. Plus the damage from the explosion of the ultimate move. It is completely possible to kill Chen Xin with damage. Really? Xiaohu, you're too confident. Chen Xin smiled and spoke, only to see that after the release of the Little Tiger Robber's ultimate move was completed and landed. Chen Xin directly launched a male knife's ultimate move. Shadow Raid. The whole person instantly becomes invisible. Then, using the E skill, he instantly moved behind Little Tiger Robber in the battle of throat cutting. The Q skill Shadow Mystery that deals tons of damage and causes Little Tiger robbery. All the blades were thrown empty. How could it be? How could you react so quickly? Xiaohu was shocked to see this scene. There is no pause in his skills. I guess even he himself couldn't react to this combo. His robbery only requires Q and E to press together after landing. By that time, even if Chen Xin had realized it, it would probably be too late. But now his ultimate move is just to leave a mark on Chen Xin's male sword. Not even a single bit of damage was dealt. The damage after the imprint explosion is simply itching. Mingkai, can you achieve this reaction speed? Too fast. Not only did they dodge perfectly, but they also took advantage of this opportunity to launch a counterattack. It's difficult. You need to have a clear understanding of time and how your opponents will operate, and even a bit of luck is needed. Judging from Xiaohu's determination, now the loot is almost full of blood and has been ignited. As long as the male sword hits E, plus a few pings of A, flashing in his hand, there is a possibility of killing Chen Xin's male sword. There's no next wave. Chen Xin won after finishing this wave. Wang Junchuo added a sentence on the side, showing appreciation on his face. She did not misread Chen Xin as expected. Mr. Wang, it's impossible. Chen Xin's male sword didn't come with a flash, and Xiaohu did. Even if this wave fails, he can still run. How could it end? Can Chen Xin's male sword kill a nearly full-blooded calamity in half-blood? If we all in, I think Chen Xin's male sword will die first. Ming Kai and Mei Ko were shocked by Wang Junchuo's words. They didn't see at all that Chen Xin's male sword could kill Little Tiger in this wave of calamity. As soon as the words fell, Little Tiger also began to counterattack. As Ming Kai said, he cannot sit idly by. Now Chen Xin has his own mark of robbery on his blade. Just hit E, and then level A with health. Add passive measures such as ignition, electrocution, and robbery. How do you think you have a better chance of winning? Humph, it's just a dying struggle. Xiaohu let out a roar and immediately controlled the operation of the robbery. Chen Xin was not intimidated by Little Tiger's Jedi counterattack at all. Still using his own combo. Waka performs electrocution and hangs a light. Open the barrier, and then end the final section of the big move. At this point, Xiaohu also dealt all his damage. Immediately flashed the attack distance away from Chen Xin's male sword. Quietly waiting for the marks on the male blade to explode. Are you waiting for the imprint on me to explode, along with the ignition damage, and then successfully single kill? You're a bit overthinking. You only dealt a total of 215 damage to me just now. The imprint explosion will have 312 points, and the ignition will have 120 points. However, it's a pity. After removing the barrier damage, I will still have 3 drops of blood. After Chen Xin finished speaking, he saw his mail sword standing in front of his own tower. The blood bar is almost empty. But upon closer inspection, there are indeed 3 drops of blood present. Mingkai and Maiku were stunned. What kind of monster is this? You can calculate all the damage in such a short amount of time. You have this mathematical calculation ability, are you coming over to play profession? Xiaohu saw that the truth was exactly the same as what Chen Xin said. His face suddenly changed and he gave a cold grunt. You're lucky this wave, but you won't have such good luck next wave. After speaking, Xiaohu pressed the B button to prepare to go home and replenish a wave. Then go online again to all in Chen Xin's mail sword. There's no next wave. Chen Xin stood up with both hands off the keyboard and said, your robbery will die in 3 seconds. Chen Xin, I feel like you're talking in your sleep. Your burning injury won't kill me. Adding the minion's damage is enough. Chen Xin's words fell. Ignite and burn the little tiger's loot until only 15 drops of blood remain. But upon closer inspection, you will notice that several long-range minions are already flying on the screen. Everyone held their breath and watched quietly. In the end, the attack of the ranged soldiers fell on Little Tiger's plunder. In an instant, Xiaohu's computer screen turned black. First blood. Little Tiger's eyes widened when he saw this scene, and he didn't come to his senses for a long time. Ming Kai and Mei Ko exchanged a glance and swallowed each other's saliva. Where did Mr. Wang dig up this monster, Chen Xin? Chen Xin, I didn't misread you. You did a great job, and now Huang Cheng has no excuses. Wang Junchuo smiled and stood up to praise Chen Xin. Today, Chen Xin once again shocked her. Previously, she was still live streaming, but now it's happening right in front of her. After a round of pairing, leave the keyboard with both hands directly. Then he said in an unquestionable tone that the opponent would die in a few seconds. It's a bit handsome. Mr. Wang, look at that money. Chen Xin closed Wushuang and wiped the sweat off his head. With one hand supporting his waist, and the other hand constantly rubbing his thumb and index finger. Okay, I'll transfer the money to you later. But what's wrong with you? You seem a bit uncomfortable, your face is so haggard. It's okay, I'll just take a break. Chen Xin felt relieved when he heard that the money could be credited to his account. Then he found someone standing next to Wang Junchuo with a chair crossed over his waist. At the same time, Huang Cheng finally came over with his coffee. Looking at the scene in front of me, I was somewhat surprised. Chen Xin's strength is really not very good. Zhaoshuyuan.com he only had time to make a cup of coffee. Excluding the time when the game's starting lines are in place, this match has only been less than 6 minutes past. Chen Xin was defeated. No need, it's all over. Drinking coffee won't be fun anymore. You can send the person out. Wang Junchuo waved his hand and gave Huang Cheng a dissatisfied look. Oh, Chen Xin, let's go, I'll see you off. Manager Huang, you sent the wrong person. Huang Cheng's eyes were filled with shock, listening to Wang Junchuo's meaning. Did Chen Xin kill Xiaohu alone while brewing his own cup of coffee? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Huang Qingli, who had reacted, immediately stepped forward to check the performance of the two. Then I lost my mind. Chen Xin, I didn't expect you to be so strong. Now my sister and I are both looking forward to being teammates with you. Yeah, by the way, Chen Xin, what's your ID called? At this moment, Mingkai and Maiku also walked forward. There is also excitement on the face. Chen Xin's demonstrated strength shocked them. But at the same time, it also conquered them. They are full of confidence in next year's EDG competition. Upon hearing about the issue with the sisters' deduction, Chen Xin was preparing to report the ID of the small account. After all, My previous ID was somewhat well known in high segmentation. It's just that this reputation is not very good. Chen Xin planned to abandon his previous ID from the moment he decided to pursue a career. However, before Chen Xin could speak, Wang Junchuo's voice had already sounded. Xianzan, it was only yesterday when I watched his live broadcast that I decided to sign him as the team's middleman. Chapter 7. I can do it myself, Mr. Wang, don't do it yourself. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Kidney deficiency young master. So Chen Xin, you are the famous kidney deficiency Zhongdan. At this moment, Chen Xin had a murderous heart. Looking at Wang Junchuo's beautiful face, I can only let out a long sigh, what a sin. Wang Junchuo heard the words of Ming Kai and Mei Ko, and then thought of Chen Xingang's abnormality. Immediately, he also reacted and looked at Chen Xin's waist with a strange look, pursing his lips and saying, Chen Xin, are you? Chen Xin was about to retort a few words, he was just temporarily suffering from poor physical condition. After his physical condition improves, he will let those who say he has kidney deficiency know what a real man is. Xiaohu, let's go. I'll trouble you this time. Huang Qing also regained his senses at this moment, with a disappointed but hopeful expression on his face. Disappointed, Xiaohu surprisingly lost to Chen Xin. What he expected was that Chen Xin was so strong. He had also heard of the title of kidney deficiency young master. Although only live streaming once a day is not enough, in the high segment of King of Kings, there is basically a lot of clicking and killing. It seems that I have not been single killed so far. With the addition of Chen Xin, the future EDG will definitely be stronger. I'm not satisfied, I applied for another battle. The one just now was just Chen Xin's luck. I don't want to set up any units anymore, just talk to Chen Xin solo again. Xiaohu finally realized from the fact that he was killed by Chen Xin alone, but his face was all displeased. Just now he recalled all his operations on the line and found almost no mistakes. If it weren't for Chen Xin's good luck, he would have dodged his sword with his ultimate moves and E-skills. He will never lose. Give it another chance, little tiger has confidence to kill alone. Chen Xin, do you agree or not? You used to pester me with solo every day. Xiaohu's gaze turned to Chen Xin, full of provocation. He cannot accept the fact that he was defeated by his former emergency substitute. No, you said it was before. Chen Xin glanced at Xiaohu, the former Chen Xin, to prove that he was not inferior to Xiaohu. Basically, when Xiaohu has time, he comes to him for solo. The fact proves that the gap between people is sometimes greater than the gap between people and dogs. Chen Xin had never won against Xiaohu before. But now that Chen Xin can agree, there is a ghost. Today's Wushuang has already been used. Go up to solo again. Chen Xin knows he is not a match for Xiaohu. Upon hearing Chen Xin's refusal, Xiaohu couldn't believe it. He looked at Chen Xin again, and a hint of sarcasm appeared at the corner of his mouth. Chen Xin, seeing you sweating profusely and supporting your waist, it seems that the title of kidney deficiency young master truly lives up to its name. I don't know what you've experienced in the past 6 months or so. It's unbelievable that you can't do this. Forget it, EDG probably won't go far next year even with a mid-year order like you. After Xiaohu finished speaking, Chen Xin looked at him with a fierce gaze. At this moment, Chen Xin was extremely resentful of why Wushuang could only be used once a day. And who was the first to say that he had kidney deficiency? He can accept others calling him poor and ugly, but he can never be called incompetent. This is a question about dignity. Chen Xin took a deep breath and prepared, take the little tiger restroom and see if you can handle it. Joking, if you really agree to solo, then it's just a matter of being insulted. Chen Xin is not stupid. In order to get angry for a moment, he returned all the handsome things he had just played. He doesn't do this foolish thing. After adding more attributes in the future, Chen Xin knew that he could hold on to the little tiger with one hand and abuse it. Learn Gojian to be patient first. Just as Chen Xin was preparing to support his waist and move his steps, he took little tiger to the restroom. Wang Junchuo reached out and grabbed Chen Xin, helping him sit in his seat. Chen Xin is feeling a bit unwell and may not be able to have a second solo with you. But if you want, I can play with you. Upon hearing Wang Junchuo's words, Xiaohu's face was a bit shocked and he immediately shook his head, saying, I don't bully women. You won, EDG's middle order is yours. Without giving Chen Xin a chance to speak, Wang Junchuo sat directly in front of the machine Chen Xin had previously used, his face filled with cold. At this moment, Chen Xin looked around and found that Huang Cheng was no longer dissuading Xiaohu. He has gone to chat with Mingkai and Maiku now. It seems that they don't care about Wang Junchuo and Xiaohu's solo situation. Xiaohu watched Wang Junchuo's movements, and a hint of joy appeared on his shocked face. You should know that Huang Cheng offered him an annual salary of 3,000 W and was also responsible for breach of contract fines. This condition is only available to top players in LPL, so Xiaohu came here for trial training. I thought he had no chance of being defeated by Chen Xin. I never expected Wang Junchuo to personally close the door for him and open another window for him. Mr. Wang, are you serious? A lady's words are unforgettable. Chen Xin was immediately anxious when he heard this. Isn't this a joke? He doesn't care about the win or loss of the two solos, nor does he care about the position of the single in the EDG. But he cares about money. If Wang Junchuo loses, wouldn't he have to give away the money he received? So Chen Xin planned to dissuade Wang Junchuo, but if he couldn't do it, he would do it himself. I can't afford to lose to Xiaohu. I'll find an excuse to say I didn't perform well. Just losing face, money should still be preserved. For example, the keyboard is too old, the screen is too small, and the mouse is too messy. Just as Chen Xin was about to speak, Ming Kai suddenly walked over to him and patted his shoulder. We just need to comply with the decision made by the boss. But Xiaohu can't beat the boss. At this moment, Chen Xion's head was full of doubts. When you say, little tiger dish, it's also to see who to compare with. In the LPL professional circle, there are really not many people who are stronger than Xiaohu. At this moment, Huang Cheng and Mei Ko also walked over and explained, although Wang is always female, he is also a genius. Before Chen Xin could continue to inquire, Wang Junchuo and Xiaohu had already entered the game on the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. The same rule applies this time. Wang Junchuo is the younger Dao sister, and Xiaohu is Ruiwen, the famous Shangdan Four Sisters. However, the Knife Girls have not redone this season. Chen Xin stared at the big screen with his eyes fixed on the ID on Dao Mei's head. He seemed to have seen it there, but suddenly couldn't remember. Why is this ID so familiar? Chen Xin, you haven't heard of this ID yet. Upon hearing Chen Xion's grumbling, Huang Cheng and the others all looked at him with surprised eyes. I feel like I've heard it before, but I don't feel like I've heard it before, like I've heard it. Huang Qingsan didn't know when they saw Chen Xin, so they also explained it to Chen Xin. This ID topped both the Chinese and Korean servers 2 years ago and remained in the top spot for several months. Later, Mr. Wang gradually disappeared in order to complete his studies. After listening to a few people, Chen Xin finally remembered where he had seen this ID. When he watched the battle videos of top experts before, he often came across this ID. Back in the day, the king of passers-by mainly focused on placing orders, and it is said that there has never been a record of being killed on the road of placing orders. Many skilled players and professional players have been defeated by this ID. Mr. Huang, do you mean that Wang always places an order on our team? What's the problem? Chen Xin fell silent, as if there were no issues. Wang Junchuo is beautiful and talented. In his past life, there was also a boss surnamed Wang who participated in professional competitions, and he was also a player with a 100% win rate in all professions. At the same time as the communication between a few people, the solo of Wang Junchuo and Xiao Hu also officially began with the arrival of the military line. Chapter 8. League of Legends Designer. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Mr. Wang, let me ask again, is what you just promised me true? Xiao Hu controlled Ruiwen, with a smile on the corner of her mouth. Although his proficiency in the hero Ruiwen is not high, he is confident in his ability to defeat Wang Junchuo. Since its launch, League of Legends has indeed had many female players. But there are hardly any good players, and famous ones like Miss and Xiaocang have all switched from other games. Just this year, Miss IE, who was known as the Hero C and engaged in rampant killings in the King's Bureau, was exposed as a proxy player and also made it to the hot search in the gaming industry. You talk a lot of nonsense, you can beat me first before we talk. As soon as the words fell, Wang Junchuo used Dao Mei's Q to kill a ranged soldier who had been left with residual health by her A, and then stole Ruiwen to level A. Then he used Q again to kill the melee soldiers and withdrew to a safe distance. Little Tiger's face didn't change much. Now he's only at level 1, and the Q he learned from Ruiwen can't even catch up with Dao Mei who has withdrawn to a safe distance. At least you have to wait until level 3 to exchange blood with Dao Mei. After entering the kill line, when level 6 Ruiwen has a big move, she can flash and control a set of seconds. Dao Mei is still not good at fighting against Ruiwen. After reaching level 6, she almost lacks a big move, and solo is equivalent to lacking a passive, and E's control is also unstable. Chen Xin looked at the confrontation between Wang Junchuo and Xiao Hu, and now they have entered a stable period of reinforcements. Occasionally there are collisions, but they also consume each other's health. But in the S6 season, Dao Mei hasn't redone it yet. Not only does she have real damage, but she can also heal all 3 skills in QWR. So now the health is Wang Junchuo's sword sister Xiao Yu, with approximately 600 points of health. Little Tiger's Ruiwen has about 500 health points, but he is the long sword 3 red who goes out. Going out with more Lan Jian and medicine bottles than Dao Mei is more reliable. Quickly, Wang Junchuo's Dao Mei had already knocked on the medicine bottle, while Little Tiger's Ruiwen still had 1 bottle, and her health was 1/3 more than Dao Mei's. In this situation, Wang Junchuo no longer dared to step forward to replenish his troops. We can only wait for the soldier line to push over and then prepare to eat the tower knife. It's a bit unlucky. Xiao Hu needs to prepare to kill under the tower. Ruiwen is about to be killed. Chen Xin's face changed, and Wang Junchuo had at least 1 wave of troops still alive. Ruiwen's outbreak after 6 was already high, and now Wang Junchuo's health is also unhealthy. Although Ruiwen Tower was forcefully killed, there is a high possibility of being replaced. But this is solo, the rule is that whoever dies first will lose. Chen Xin's heart couldn't help but tug, as if he saw the day when he was going back to eat instant noodles. Mr. Wang, this wave is indeed a bit dangerous, I don't know how to deal with it. If we could use Q to eliminate all the minions, there might still be a glimmer of opportunity. It's a bit difficult, not to mention that Q's damage is not enough, Little Tiger won't give Mr. Wang a chance. Huang Qingming's sister, Kai Mei, and the 3 of them also showed a solemn expression. The current situation is not optimistic for machines. At this moment, a large wave of troops had reached the bottom of Wang Junchuo's sword sister's tower. Xiao Hu was clearly very relaxed, his eyes fixed on the screen. He is now waiting for a chance to kill with a single blow. As long as he can win against Wang Junchuo, then his position as a single player in EDG is his. Seeing this scene, Chen Xin immediately didn't want to watch it. Even if Chen Xin, who is in an ordinary state, can still win in the current situation. Ruiwen opened an R, flashed W, fixed the knife girl, hung it up and lit it up, quickly hit the speed of light QA. If Dao Mei uses Q or flash to run away, then Ruiwen will use E and Sanduan Q to catch up. The second paragraph of the final move ends. This has almost formed a deadly situation. Chen Xin had no idea what operational space Wang Junchuo had. At this moment, Wang Junchuo's face was calm and there was no sign of nervousness. It's impossible to gain experience. A hint of mockery appeared at the corner of Xiaohu's mouth, and then he controlled Ruiwen to prepare to drive Dao Mei out of the experience zone. As long as Dao Mei dares to get closer, Little Tiger is ready to take action. Come a little more, come a little more. Xiaohu looked at the computer screen and felt a bit anxious. Wang Junchuo always gets stuck in his Ruiwen flash, almost at a distance. This distance control really shocked Little Tiger. Xiaohu saw no hope of killing Chang and also controlled Ruiwen A tower, consuming the tower's health. At the same time, it also prevents Dao Mei from entering the experience zone. As long as Wang Junchuo controls Dao Mei to enter the experience zone, Xiaohu controls Ruiwen to suppress it. Pulling and pulling, strong killing should be impossible, but General Wang's disadvantage is still very significant. The health of the tower has been consumed by half, and the number of reinforcements is far behind. The two will definitely have to wait until they return home for supplies before deciding the winner, but when they go online again, the equipment gap will widen. Wang Junchuo naturally understood the issue discussed by Huang Chengmingkai and others. But she didn't plan to return to the city because she planned to kill Little Tiger's Ruiwen alone under the tower. Chen Xin, I think you can leave early to avoid being driven away later. Huang Cheng looked at Chen Xin and patted his shoulder. After knowing Chen Xin's strength, Huang Cheng changed his idea of letting Xiaohu serve as the center runner. But Huang Cheng, the person Wang Junchuo is, knows that he always speaks his mind and cannot slap himself in the face. It's not over yet. Look at Mr. Wang's actions. As Chen Xin's words fell, several people also observed Wang Junchuo's movements. They found that every time Wang Junchuo entered the experience zone, a soldier would be killed by the tower. Then Little Tiger drove her out of the experience zone. This cycle repeats itself repeatedly. This. Didn't Xiaohu notice? He just needs to stand there and don't move. He underestimated the enemy, he didn't even pay attention to Mr. Wang. At this moment, Wang Junchuo's calm face also showed a smile, as he watched as his knife sister's experience bar was about to reach 6. My impression of Little Tiger is getting worse and worse in my heart. As a top single player, being proud and arrogant to the point where my opponent didn't even notice such a small move is just a bit too embarrassing. Wang Junchuo thought to himself and immediately controlled Dao Mei to expose herself at a distance of Little Tiger's flash W. Intentionally selling a loophole to Xiaohu. Good opportunity. Xiaohu looked at Dao Mei's movements and instantly had a judgment in his heart. As expected, Ruiwen turned on R and then flashed to Wang Junchuo's side, directly holding on to W. Then he hung it and lit it, activating his speed of light QA. You probably don't know how to QA at the speed of light, your damage won't kill me. As soon as Wang Junchuo finished speaking, with the death of a soldier, the level of the Blade Sister also reached level 6. And Xiaohu also finished playing QAQQ and threw out Ruiwen's second move at the same time. Dao Mei's health instantly bottomed out. Xiaohu saw Dao Mei's health and immediately used the E skill to withdraw from the attack range of the defense tower. Dao Mei is wearing a flame on her body, she will definitely die. Do you think I will be ignited and burned to death? I saw Dao Mei activate her ultimate move, Supreme Blade, and use the first section to hit several small soldiers, reducing their health and restoring some health. Then he flashed up to Ruiwen and gave her an E. It's not slowing down, it's dizziness. Then it was hung and ignited, and turned on cutting while walking. Ruiwen's health instantly disappeared by half, and then Dao Mei used Q to flash and move around. I saw that Dao Mei's health was slowly recovering, and the effect of igniting had already passed. Upon seeing this scene, Xiaohu was shocked and quickly controlled Ruiwen to flee. He has now entered the CD with all of Ruiwen's skills, and there is no room for him to fight back. But where would Wang Junchuo give him the opportunity to directly release the second and third stages of the R skill? At the same time as hitting Ruiwen, he also damaged the remaining enemy lines. Continue to use the Q skill to dodge and move, find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, and then use WA to attack Ruiwen. As the last soldier was killed by Dao Mei's Q skill, Ruiwen was also beheaded by Dao Mei's horse. First blood. How could it be that Dao Mei could still fight back in this situation? League of Legends designer. Xiaohu was a bit absent-minded and slammed the table hard, but knew he had already lost. Although I was a bit unwilling in my heart, I still didn't say anything more. But he swore to contact the League of Legends game designer after returning. Dao Mei is too strong. We still need to cut it. You lost, Mr. Huang, take him away. Wang Junchuo stood up with a calm expression on his face, as if the previous operation was just a very ordinary matter. Ah. Good. Huang Cheng also realized that Wang Junchuo's operation was too astonishing, and he was able to achieve a comeback in this situation. Chen Xin was also stunned and had a new understanding of Wang Junchuo's strength. Fortunately, Dao Mei didn't redo it now, if it were combined with those classic lines. Ionia stands tall and never dies. Grandma often says. Chen Xin felt that this Dao girl's strength would be stronger, as if he had seen the shy of the S8. This time, Xiaohu didn't stay too long, but just left the club with Huang Cheng. Wang Junchuo, holding a cup of coffee, called Chen Xin to the office and handed him a professional player contract. If there's no problem, just sign it. Chen Xin carefully looked around the contract and looked at Wang Junchuo with a slightly shocked expression on his face. Are you sure this is a contract? Is it still possible for me to withdraw from Chapter 9 now? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wang Junchuo watched Chen Xin's shocked expression and took a sip of coffee with a cherry mouthful. What? What's the problem? Our EDG contract is the best in the entire alliance. If you breach the contract, all you need to do is repay the money you earned in EDG. It's much better than White Star's RNG, with various restrictive clauses and sky-high liquidated damages. Chen Xin's face was quite speechless, and EDG's contract was indeed the same as what Wang Junchuo had said. But who can explain the several treaties that must be followed as stipulated in the contract? Mr. Wang, I deeply agree with what you said, but please tell me why you need to wake up at 6:30 a.m. and go to bed before 11:30 p.m. This condition is not human. Chen Xin feels that he is not here to pursue a career, but to attend school. He has only experienced such a twisted routine in his past life when he was in school. Who doesn't stay up late in modern times? Oh, you said that. To become an excellent professional athlete, in addition to factors such as talent and hard work, it is also necessary to maintain a good physique. I wake up early to help you exercise and have breakfast on time. Staying up late for a long time can gradually decrease one's reaction and physical fitness. I think this arrangement is very reasonable. After Wang Junchuo finished his theory, Chen Xin was dumbfounded. Because he couldn't find a place to refute, what Wang Junchuo said was indeed true. Why can't I refuse the food arranged by the club? What if I don't like to eat some things? Wang Junchuo listened to Chen Xin finish speaking, and a slight smile appeared on her face. She thought Chen Xin's reaction was very cute. I just don't know what food Chen Xin doesn't like to eat, so I'll have the nutritionist make more for him. In order to ensure each athlete's daily nutritional intake, our club will have dedicated nutritionists to customize nutritional meals for each professional athlete. But some people don't like to eat vegetables or other foods, so you understand. Chen Xin laughed angrily when he heard this, but he still felt that Wang Junchuo had a point. He really doesn't like to eat vegetables and doesn't buy much fruit, so he lacks vitamin intake all year round. Okay, I understand Mr. Wang's 2 points. But may I ask why there are restrictions on players dating, whether it's playing professionally or cultivating celebrities? Regarding this regulation, Chen Xin does not insist on dating, he just feels that his freedom is restricted. A bit uncomfortable. Medical research has shown that dating can distract energy. If deeper communication is conducted, both men and women's reaction and memory abilities will significantly decrease. I think this rule is very reasonable. Wang Junchuo suddenly paused at this point, and his face also became serious. Standing up with both hands supporting the table, the whole person looked down at Chen Xin. Additionally, esports does not require love. Wang Junchuo's few words really silenced Chen Xin. Forget it, I never intended to come into contact with love in my lifetime. All of these conditions can be readily accepted due to the annual salary of 400,000 yuan. So Chen Xin casually signed his name on the contract and then stamped his own fingerprint. It just gave Chen Xin a feeling of signing a sales contract. At the same time, Chen Xin is also curious that since EDG regulations are so abnormal, the level of players should be quite high according to reason. Why did you perform so poorly in this year's S competition? Regarding Chen Xin's doubts, Wang Junchuo also provided an answer. That's because it was their poor performance in the S game this year that I followed these regulations. Wang Junchuo snorted coldly. Previously, it was entrusted to Huang Cheng to take responsibility, but the performance was so poor that it wasted a year of opportunity. If she were to maintain her previous state, Wang Junchuo felt that she would most likely return to inherit the family business. Chen Xin was once again silenced by Wang Junchuo. Everything seems so abrupt, but it's also so reasonable. Alright, congratulations on officially becoming a part of EDG. Now you can enjoy our EDG treatment. Ah. Chen Xin is a bit puzzled and doesn't quite understand what Wang Junchuo means. I saw Wang Junchuo make a phone call and wait for 1 or 2 minutes. A few angels in white clothes came into the office. Seeing this scene, Chen Xin immediately felt a bit flustered in his heart. Mr. Wang, what is this for? Just do a whole-body physical examination, promptly identify the athlete's physical and mental problems, and then take care of and improve them. Like Chen Xin, you have kidney deficiency at a young age, and I don't know why, but you're just a single dog. Check it out, there has only been one German Cup recently, and the club has already won the championship. This time, it doesn't matter what the results are, and there are still a few months left until the spring season. Try to recuperate and come back. Chen Xin was silenced by Wang Junchuo for the 3rd time. What's wrong with being single? Did you eat your rice? Besides, Wang Junchuo is also a single dog. Who can be better than anyone? However, Wang Junchuo seemed to have seen through Chen Xin's thoughts, and a harmless smile appeared on his face. Although I am also single, I am not kidney deficient. Upon hearing these words, Chen Xin immediately stood up and glared angrily at Wang Junchuo. I can't bear it. Gojian couldn't bear it even when he came. Just as Chen Xin was about to prove that he didn't have kidney deficiency, Wang Junchuo lightly tapped the keyboard with his fingers. I promised you before, but the money has already been transferred. Because your strength is too amazing, you will receive a reward of 100,000 yuan. Please check it out. Upon hearing these words, Chen Xin's anger dissipated in an instant, and he immediately took out his phone to take a look. Sure enough, Chen Xin discovered an incoming message and immediately smiled. Looking at Wang Junchuo's stunning face, Chen Xin suddenly felt that she was more charming. A charm of motes. Alright, you can now follow them for a physical examination. Wang Junchuo watched the change in Chen Xian's face and a slight smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. She has seen someone who likes money, but she has never seen someone like Chen Xian who likes money so much. Okay, Mr. Wang. Chen Xian, who received the money, became more respectful in his attitude. Zhaoshuyuan.com EDG has this boss, why not worry? Chen Xian walked up to the doctor in charge of the physical examination and greeted him with a smile. Just do a simple routine physical examination, right? Let's go, I'm ready now. Several doctors heard Chen Xian's words and a hint of surprise appeared on their faces. And Wang Junchuo, who was sitting in the boss's chair, also spoke at this moment. Chen Xian, they used to do military medical examinations. As Wang Junchuo's words fell, Chen Xian suddenly felt that Wang Junchuo had lost her charm. She was a demon. How can anyone use military medical examination standards for their own unit's physical examination? Thinking about the military's medical examination and the need to check various hidden areas, Chen Xian felt a little scalp tingling. There is no other reason, it's just a simple physiological discomfort. Mr. Wang, is it urgent for me to exit EDG now? Chen Xian looked at Wang Junchuo with a pleading gaze. Sure, you can refund me all the money, but you should have a significant gap. No need to say. Isn't it just a physical examination? Chen Xian interrupted Wang Junchuo's words and immediately followed the doctor to several secret rooms. First, I spent half an hour doing psychological testing and counseling. Then we began a physical examination. Doctor, please be gentle. There can't be. When Chen Xian walked out of the room with a dark face, he found that Huang Cheng had brought another person wearing a mask. But Chen Xian still recognized who this person was and was shocked in his heart. Immediately, one can only sigh that Wang Junchuo has invested heavily this year. Chapter 10. An argument has arisen. You are listening at novel full.audio. This person is naturally the one who was discussed by many netizens in Chen Xian's past life and has many nicknames. Eternal God, World's number 1 ADC, the UZI of RNG. Chen Xian couldn't help but marvel at Wang Junchuo's financial strength in his heart. This year Deft returned to China, and EDG did indeed lack an ADC. Wang Junchuo never directly poached UZI from RNG. At the same time, Wang Junchuo also walked from the office to Chen Xian's side, with a slightly unpleasant expression on his face. Chen Xian, your physical examination report is out. Please review it yourself. Chen Xian received his physical examination report from Wang Junchuo, and the report, which was over 10 pages long, naturally did not have the patience to carefully examine it. Look directly at the results given by the doctor at the back. I am a bit introverted psychologically and enjoy dark and peaceful environments, but I have a stable mindset and strong ability to withstand pressure. Long-term staying up late, excessive drinking, smoking, and frequent hand thrusts can lead to kidney Qi deficiency, which requires treatment with medication and food. The result alone contains hundreds of words. Chen Xian looked at the doctor's sharp review and then at Wang Junchuo's face, which was a bit awkward. This was all done by my predecessor, not me now. Chen Xian, are you guys so young and angry? I said the person just now was a quack doctor, do you believe it, Mr. Wang? Upon hearing Chen Xian's words, Wang Junchuo embraced his chest with both hands and watched him remain silent. After a while, Wang Junchuo shook his hand. I don't care about your previous lifestyle habits, but this year at EDG, you must change your previous habits, otherwise I will unilaterally count you as a breach of contract. There are still a few months left until the spring competition, so take good care of yourself during this period. You can't really just play one game and get off the field. Chen Xian nodded but did not refuse. Since he crossed over, he has long changed his previous lifestyle habits. And a few months is already sufficient for Chen Xian. He can definitely add his attribute panel to the level of a professional player. Chen Xin estimates that when his physical fitness reaches around 90, there should not be any significant side effects when he opens the wushuang. Maybe it's just simple fatigue. Let's go get to know our new teammates now and have a meal together. After Wang Junchuo finished speaking, he walked in front of Chen Xin in high heels, leaving him with a graceful figure. Chen Xin followed Wang Junchuo to the previous training room. Uzi is chatting and laughing with Mingkai and Maiku. Although they are opponents on the field, they seem to have a good personal relationship off the field. Uzi, this is our Mr. Wang, and from now on, it will be our team's top pick. The other one is Chen Xin, a famous young master of kidney deficiency, who will be the middle dan of our team in the future. Huang Qingjian also introduced Wang Junchuo and Chen Xin to each other when they came over. Hello, Mr. Wang and Chen Xin, I can hear your two IDs like thunder. Uzi smiled and shook hands with Wang Junchuo and Chen Xin respectively. Uzi, your fame is much better than mine. Chen Xin held Uzi's hand and his thoughts drifted towards the distance. He is neither fan nor black towards Uzi, and has also watched Uzi's matches in his past life. Uzi in the S8 mid-season can indeed be called the world number one, but at other times, Chen Xin can only be said to be at the top of the world. But unfortunately, S8 had a bad mentality and missed the opportunity. In fact, Chen Xin believes that the strongest period of Uzi was the S9, with both abilities and mentality at their peak. But this time his teammates are not human. Has the contract been signed yet? Mr. Huang, please take Uzi for a physical examination first, and then instruct the nutritionist to cook when the examination report is out. Wang Junchuo's words fell, while Huang Qing left with a bewildered expression on his face. After the two left, Wang Junchuo asked Chen Xin to hand over her ID card, which needed to be used to register as a professional player in the league. Mr. Wang, I didn't expect you to poach Uzi this year. We are sure to win the championship in the S competition this year. With the addition of General Manager Wang, Chen Xin, and Uzi, we are already the strongest galactic warship in LPL. Ming Kai and Mei buttoned their faces with a hint of excitement. Although they had a very useful method for fighting Uzi before. That's second-level capture. But it doesn't mean they deny Uzi's strength. You should know that Uzi doesn't even need a trial to join EDG, and Wang Junchuo also feels that Uzi has enough strength. She just has some dissatisfaction with Uzi's figure, after all, she is a beauty control. Chen Xin, do you think we can win the S competition championship this year? Wang Junchuo's face showed a happy smile, with a hint of anticipation in his eyes. It's definitely possible. Chen Xin squeezed out a confident smile, feeling that if he dared to say no, he would soon be fired by Wang Junchuo. As for the champion of this year's S competition, Chen Xin can only say that the opportunity is quite great. As long as Uzi meets the clouds, Mingkai won't get lost, and Mei won't be able to give away. Upon hearing Chen Xion's answer, Wang Junchuo was noticeably happier. After the Uzi physical examination was completed, Wang Junchuo arranged for a nutritionist to arrange meals based on each person's medical report. Then the scene is Uzi eating simple vegetables and low-fat meals. Watching Chen Xian eat leeks, lamb waste, beef waste, and medicinal wine, he drooled with envy. After dinner, Wang Junchuo arranged for makeup artists and lighting technicians to take new promotional photos for the new EDG team. Subsequently, an official announcement was made on the online platform, causing a sensation in hot search. Did the puppy go to EDG? Does it mean that the two fans will be the same family from now on? Worry, you guys, who is with you as a family? I just hope that Uzbek won't be fooling the factory director next year. Excuse me, my voice wave needs to prove who is the world's #1 outfielder. The result was 43-96, and Peanut became the strongest outfielder in my heart from then on. So deft is Uzi's designated priest, love whatever you want. Regarding public opinion on the internet, no one within EDG naturally cares. Chen Xin and his team are currently receiving training from Wang Junchuo, repeating the rules that must be followed during this period of EDG playing profession. Also introduce the personnel situation of the team. The coaching team led by Zhu Kai, in addition to various groups including psychological counseling, doctors, nutrition, fitness, and data analysis, consists of a total of 1 to 200 people. Chen Xin was a bit dumbfounded when he heard Wang Junchuo's introducer. He knew that Wang Junchuo was wealthy, but he didn't know that Wang Junchuo was such a spendthrift. In his two life memories, Chen Xin never heard of any club having a reserve force like EDG. It feels like a war. Chen Xin dares to guarantee that the club will definitely operate at a loss due to the high cost. He didn't figure out what Wang Junchuo wanted. At first, Uzi was a bit resistant. After all, the rules set by Wang Junchuo were too terrifying. Especially the rule of getting up at 6:30 sharp and then exercising. This is simply making things difficult for him. However, when Uzi thought of the annual salary of 40,000 yuan offered by Wang Junchuo, he also decided to grit his teeth and endure it. As for Ming Kai and Mei Ko, they looked calm, knowing this news when they returned from their trip to the United States. Alright, that's all for today. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Everyone, get ready to take a shower and sleep. Wang Junchuo raised his wrist and looked at the multi-million-dollar Patek Philippe in his hand, only to find that it was already 10 o'clock in the evening. Chen Xin, you live on the 31st floor, and Uzi, you live on the 25th floor. 31st floor. Yeah, you wouldn't think our contestants were going to live in a single room like other teams, would you? It would be too embarrassing for Mr. Wang to spread such rumors. Each contestant has one floor, while the rest of the participants are guaranteed a minimum single room. Upon hearing Huang Cheng's words, Chen Xin became numb, and Uzi's expression was similar to his. Now Chen Xin finally understands why Wang Junchuo wanted to establish EDG's club in this building. Chen Xin regained his mind and was about to go to rest when Wang Junchuo's phone suddenly rang. Wang Junchuo looked at the notes displayed on his phone, and a hint of mockery appeared on his gorgeous face. He immediately connected the phone. Bai Xing, why are you calling me so late? Wang Junchuo, you have a clear understanding of what you have done. Your actions are simply breaking the rules. Bai Xing, if you're poor, you're poor. Your bid isn't as high as mine. Would Uzi be willing to come to me? Can you manage it? Wang Junchuo, do you have the ability to have a BO3 training match with me at RNG tomorrow? What are you gambling on? Just bet on the penalty paid by Chen Xin in your EDG. Got it. After Wang Junchuo finished speaking, he hung up the phone and stared at the four of Chen Xin with a strong gaze. You all heard that, tomorrow's BO3 can only win, not lose. We won and everyone divided equally. Also, Chen Xin, you need to kill Xiaohu fiercely. If you kill him more than 3 times, I will give you an additional reward. Upon hearing Wang Junchuo's words, Chen Xion's originally calm heart instantly stirred up a ripple. Wang Junchuo is such a capable person. He likes the feeling of smashing himself to death with money, but he doesn't know what the mysterious reward is.